Hey there, this is Derek from Pacific Coast Auto in Japan, and we're looking here at a Subaru Legacy Outback. And this one here is a 2.5 liter boxer engine with automatic transmission. I bought from auction in Japan. This one's exporting to the UK. Mileage is just under 74,000 kilometers. And in case you don't know, the Outback is the Legacy with lifted suspension, over fenders, and different styling inside and outside compared to the regular Legacy. These were huge sellers around the world, and in Japan, they weren't so popular here in Japan, partly because they had a larger 2.5 liter engine compared to the 2 liter engine, which would have lower taxes. That said, in the used market, these tend to be extremely inexpensive here, and you can get them in really good condition. This one, extremely good condition from auction. Body is good, interior is good, no bad smells, no mechanical problems. And this one, for the person who bought this, has nicknamed her, nicknamed her Elsa. And so, gotta keep that in mind when you're taking a look at this video. So I don't know an awful lot about the 2.5 liter version of these engines or how they differ between the JDM version and the World version. I haven't seen anything to let me think that they're unreliable. And then the 2 liter turbo versions, like you can find in that car, they're very reliable. That one there has over 300,000 kilometers, I think, or just about 300,000. I haven't checked it out yet, but... And we also have a 280,000 kilometer GC8 that you can't see, but it's right at the end of that line there. Okay, so oil and coolant were checked. Both of those appear to be in just fine condition, although the power steering fluid should probably be changed because it makes sounds when you throw the steering wheel, like... Whoa, whoa. It's slight, but it's going to get worse if you don't change that power steering fluid. Now the car's wet today. I usually don't like to shoot wet cars because you can't really see everything that well. And so I'm sorry about that, but it is right after the winter holidays and I need to make all these cars leave my lot pretty soon. It's probably about 1 inch taller, maybe 1.25 inches or so. 3 centimeters taller than the standard Legacy, and it makes a difference. It feels different, gives you better clearance front and rear, and it's cool. It's just cool. I'm going to turn the engine off and I'll come back to the interior here to show you that in a second. First off, I'll translate that auction inspection sheet. I'll take that key out, and it comes with 2 keys, 1 master. Okay. It is nice when it's raining to see the water, because you can tell the condition of the clear coat through the beading of the water on the surface. Okay, so this one here is a 2006. Now the trim model is Legacy Outback Wagon 4-wheel drive 2.5i S-Style Limited. Now an S-Style Limited is probably just things like slightly different bumper, maybe the lights that are in it are slightly different, maybe the grille is slightly different, and then there's some cladding on the side here. And this piece here isn't part of the regular Legacy, it's part of the Outback. Looking here, it says this is a dealer trade into the auction. It's a grade 4, interior B, exterior B, and it looks tip-top condition. 73 to 64 kilometers at the time of auction. It's automatic transmission, but it also has paddle shift if you want, or you can select the gears using the shift knob as well. Okay, it says exterior minor scratches and dents, door mirrors scratched, windshield rock chip, seat is dirty and has wear, headliner is dirty, and trim is dirty and scratched. A lot of these comments are your standard comments that you'll see on any car, no matter what the condition is, and there's really nothing else that makes me think that there's anything that is in need of changing on the car. Now it says fade here and fade on the headlights, that's true. A2 is a scratch on the front bumper, and B2 is a dent on the rear bumper. There's also a medium scratch over here. Anything that is grade 1 here, like you can see the A1 or the U1, typically those are too small to even notice. So they're nothing I would worry about. Here we'll do the once around, and I don't actually have enough space to put the whole car in the shot here because of a car there. The Legacy is kind of like the vehicle that told the world that crossovers are going to be a thing. Because I guess you could consider this thing a crossover SUV. And I've always been somebody who loves wagons, especially the driving dynamics of them, and I find that the Legacy is a fantastic vehicle. But for somebody who needs the extra ground clearance but doesn't want to go with an SUV, the Outback is really one of your best choices for that. There's also a Volvo that's very similar, Crosstrek or something, Cross Sports, I don't know, like the V70 and then a lifted version of it. I don't know which one came out first. This is the third generation of the Outback, and so maybe the Subaru was first. Subaru also had some other cars that were similar to this, like wagons that were lifted and are meant for off-road with four-wheel drive back in like the 80s, like the Chaser, Subaru Chaser. And I don't know what that would have been called in other markets. I think that was a North American specific name. I always thought these generations looked so neat with the asymmetric lights in the back. They don't have this in North America. I believe that they match left and right in North America, but you have one reverse light and one reverse fog light. I don't know. Still cool. Okay, so show you the interior here. Nice and clean inside. Smells like air freshener, but doesn't smell like it's used to mask anything. This is an official Subaru matte. It is made of high quality materials. Flip it up and you have a storage place for hiding your stuff, and then there's a spare tire underneath and it's in good condition. Speaking of tires, 2018 tires on there, so nice and new. And I can't really say the price of the car, but I can say that for the most part you can get these for less than the cost of a set of new tires. And so in this case it's kind of like buy some tires and get Legacy. This version of the Legacy I think is going to be safer than the earlier ones because it turns out that they moved the seats back compared to the pillar location. So you can see that the seat here, your head is right next to a pillar. That to me seems safer. A lot of cars started doing that at around this time. It might make for slightly different size proportions interior wise, but I don't know. It seems also very similar to the earlier generation of Legacy as well in terms of what you get, which is not a bad thing. The Legacy was a fantastic car. Okay, into the front, and we have nice looking aluminum here, power seats. There is still blue plastic on top of the Subaru skid plate there. A little bit of damage on the door here. It looks like possibly closing the seatbelt in the door. These steering wheels tend to break down pretty quickly. I find that they wear out here, like the paint wears off. As well, they tend to peel. This one's not so bad, but you can see the beginnings of peeling at the top here. Might want to put some sort of conditioner on there. I want to show the gauges because they look just like the Impreza when it starts up. Which is fun to take a look at. And then you can see the mileage there. And of course that hasn't been rolled back because it was bought directly from the auction, and so you don't have to worry about that. Carpet's dirty with leaves. Part of that's probably my fault, I'm sorry. This here is a toll collection box. That's for Japanese highway, charging for the highways. And then, here is the dashboard. So, we have some marks for something that used to be mounted up here. This is an aftermarket kit to allow for the Panasonic Strata Navi system, which is a popular and high-end unit to be added in. It has not push buttons. These are capacitive touch. Very cool. CD player, MD player, and then the time is down there. Also, dual zone climate control, left and right here. So you can set different temperatures for left and right. Some wear on the button here for your hazards. And it has something that used to be mounted on here by the looks of it. And a few scratches on this. The shift yourself buttons are cool. 2 cup holders, nice solid and deep ones. And a place here for your things, including a vent that goes into it. Cool, so you can keep things cold inside. And a cigarette lighter adapter. Okay, Legacy Outback. So that's going to be the end of this report. If you have any questions about it, feel free to post in the comments section. We're getting to the point where we get too many comments to answer them all ourselves, but feel free to email us if you need something that requires a reply. But thank you everyone for watching this far, and have a nice day.